Gifts, don't give them. Very simple. It's a very simple rule to follow. Gifts, don't give them. Let her beta orbiters buy her unappreciated shit. When she asks, give her the gift of your hard cock instead. Instead of flowers, your hard cock. Instead of dinner, your hard cock. Instead of an engagement ring, your hard cock. Up to a certain point, you can get away with it. And you should. And you should test the waters. And, when I wrote this, I'm pretty sure I was really thinking of like from inception, when you first meet a girl to a couple years in, sparingly with the gift giving. Again, you would be surprised that a little handwritten note on a napkin will be valued more than, $500 flower arrangement. It's really strange, but those things that matter to women are very simple, mindful things. Again, there are some girls that are more materialistic, and that's where they are on that spectrum. But you have to know who you're dealing with. And I've noticed, it's always good to kind of like test things out, give us a few small things. And I'm talking once you've been having sex with a girl for some time, to see if she appreciates. Most girls, from what I've seen, do not appreciate gifts. I don't know if it's, they're so used to things being handed to them. They're so used to guys flocking to them. They just don't value, Bunny, on the other hand, is always ecstatic, whatever I give her. And even like a pair of motorcycle boots, so she doesn't snap her leg off, she was ecstatic and, appreciated them. So you have to kind of like test the girl out, give her a couple of small things and just kind of see how, because if they don't appreciate it, it's probably best if you don't give them anything over time. You have to always hit. She loves those boots. They are cool boots. That's funny. Girls that don't appreciate it's best to hold back. And that way, when her girlfriends, are talking about, she'll keep in mind that she already ruined that for herself by not being appreciative. But, you always have to still, Christmas, birthdays, certain days, you can be an ass to a certain extent, but after you've been banging a girl for 4 or 5 years, you kind of have to hit the major holidays. So, because again, it has far less to do with you or what you're giving. She has to be able to have a story of what, you found for her. And that's the important thing. She has to have a story for her friends and her family. So much of this is what the story she can tell. And just like guys like to have a good story, they like to have a good spring break story. They like to have a good hunting story. But girls like to have a good engagement story. They like to have a good, I got this for Christmas story. And that is a good way to screen, is start with small things. I always say start with a handwritten note. You can always do the dirty poem, which I think is hilarious. But you have to know your personality. Not every guy is a jokester. But again, default to less is more. Even with gift giving, we say in game, less is more. Gifts, just don't give them, especially if you're not having sex with this girl. Do not, under no circumstances should you be giving gifts. Showing up with flowers. None of this in the U.S. is a good idea. It's all, don't believe anything that these girls say. Oh, I wish guys would show. No, they do not appreciate it. They think it's strange, and it will put you, you'll have to fight against that tide of negativity from the get-go. Let her buddies, let her non-sexual friends take care of the unappreciated shit. But anything you do, your presence, again, and that's what I really want to convey here on the Your Hard Cock, which guys can kind of get, give her sex, give her your presence instead of presents. Instead of flowers, you're there. Instead of dinner, she gets to hang out with you. Instead of an engagement ring, at some point you're going to have to cough it up. But again, your presence is the most important thing. And as long as people kind of keep that to the forefront. But again, at some point, and God, I could probably do like an ebook on this, that you do have to give her something that she can tell a story about. Again, remember, it's a story that's more important than the gift itself with a healthy minded girl. Again, in the beginning, just do not give them. Let her beta orbiters buy her unappreciated shit. When she asks, give her the gift of your hard cock instead. You cannot go wrong with that formula. And